Mind over mic, we speak what's real. Thoughts on the table, truth is the deal. From every voice, a story unfolds. Ideas and wisdom, breaking the mold. Mind over.
Welcome to today's episode on Mind Over Mic. I am your host, John, and with me in the studio are Valentine and Cosmos. On today's episode of Mind Over Mic, we'll be discussing a very, very critical topic, which has been an issue for most people, especially in our country, Nigeria: the pressure to succeed before 30. Now, to dig into this, we'll first break it down into knowing what does success mean to you as a person, before you now start talking about the pressures to succeed before 30. So, Valentine, what does success mean to you as a person?
Oh, well, I think success is an individual point of view, because everyone has their own perspective. But to me, I would say success is when you get a sustainable income, a sustainable means of livelihood, when you have your house and when you have your car, and sustainable means of income that can sustain your lifestyle, at least for you to be comfortable and comfortably, take care of your wife, your kids, and all of that. So that's just a little, general point on my perspective.
Okay. So, when you don't achieve these things before 30, is it a problem to you, or you don't think there's a timeline?
It's a problem. It's definitely a problem.
So that means actually a pressure.
There's a yes.
Okay.
There's
We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. Cosmos, what is success to you? What does success mean to you as a person?
For me now, I think I would deviate a bit from the usual notion of success. I would say success for me is fulfillment. And I know that sometimes in finding fulfillment, you might not really, it might not be material. Let me put it like that. So I feel success for me is fulfillment, achieving goals that actually at the end of the day you find happiness in. Yes, and what I've noticed over time is some of these things might not necessarily now materialize into financial benefits. So it has its own aspects. Right, when you have that joy at the end of the day, that probably you can do something for humanity that actually will leave a lasting legacy. Right, so that's what I view as success.
Okay, so success for you is actually fulfillment.
Yes, fulfillment.
All right, but what is your take on the current societal idea of success, just placing it on finances, where for someone to be seen as successful is someone that already has money to a certain extent, especially these days, like making a lot of money and maybe being a multi-millionaire before the age of 30.
Well, my take on that, because he said something about fulfillment, that plays a big role. And for me, being fulfilled means you having money. Yes, it all boils down to, it's in a way, it's a lot of pressure, because actually, as someone that hasn't gone through life before, you don't know when you are doing it right and when you are not. So for me, it's an individual journey. It's more of, people, like as you asked, the general expectations that people have sometimes might not be the same as you personally, because everyone has their own journey, has their own phases. So you might be on a phase in your journey where you are still building. Meanwhile, somebody might be at their peak of their own journey where, they are already reaping the fruits of their labor. And trust me, you cannot judge your own success based off of what you are seeing on other people. Let's say the internet, for example. Some people just they live a life of lifestyle. They have a certain lifestyle that applies pressure on them when they are not fulfilling that lifestyle. And for someone who doesn't key into that, he might still be very much more successful than others without even realizing it, because he is doing his things on his own terms. So for me, the general expectations is not something that works. is more of an individual journey. You know, you have your own. So long as I have broken down the steps that will get me to where I want to go, or where I'm expecting to, get to at a certain point, I'm okay.
So you mean financial success is more of a personal thing?
Yes.
Personal journey. Okay, so but Cosmos, you say something about the effect of social media on the pressures of success. So what do you think, or how does social media impact a person's idea of success and the pressure it puts on an individual?
All right. So before I get to that, on a general perspective, now I have a data here, which actually says that Nigeria as a country already tops it when it comes to pressure to succeed. Yes. And there are two very key stats. The first one is 85% of young Nigerians aged between 15 to 24 say they feel greater pressure to succeed than their elders. And that's from UNICEF. That was a survey by UNICEF. And another one is 1 in 6 young Nigerians aged between 15 to 24 often feel depressed, have little interest, or are anxious or worried. All right. So that in itself generally actually shows that in this country, Nigeria, there are a lot of pressure for one to actually succeed. Now, what social media has actually done now is actually amplifying it to a greater extent, in the sense that, and where it's bad is because to some extent, social media is actually a platform where so many people actually live fake lives. Let's put it like that. So many people live fake lives, and some other people project these things as their real life, whereas maybe somebody is just trying to create content with maybe things that probably everything about that content is actually fake, in the sense that
like you just acted it.
Yes. So sometimes they might have even rented everything that you are seeing, but then they present it as if maybe that's their lifestyle, that's what they do on a regular basis. But that's not the case. And when young people actually see this thing, it actually impacts the way they think. They begin to think that maybe the current age that they are, they are already failures. But that's not the case. So social media in itself has not really helped when it comes to projecting falsehood to our young Nigerians and teeming youths.
Okay. Valentine, he said something about the pressures and fake life that people live. But then if you bring it down to family level, do you think the family too also has their role they play in applying pressure to individuals, to young Nigerians and young people, to want to make certain amount of money and appear successful before the age of 30, so they will not look like failures?
Yes, the family has a big role to play, because directly and indirectly, they would influence you as a growing youth. Indirectly, in the sense that they might make comments like, oh, you are still in the house, your mates are out there, working, what are you still doing at home?
Go hustle.
Go hustle, yes. Or they might say,
Yeah.
they might want to make you feel uncomfortable because you are still at home with them. And that's one aspect that affects people that are still building in their parents' house. You get this pressure of wanting to live, wanting to feel free, because you are not getting that freedom that you want, because your parents are still maybe applying some kind of pressure, because they don't like, our Nigerian parents now, their mentality is a bit on the edge when it comes to success and comparing their kids with other people's kids. And also, on the same indirect note, there's this let's say you see the mistakes your dad made, or you see the achievements your dad has made in his own time when he was your own age. Like most of our parents, they got married at an early age.
Yes,
And back then things were much more better. Let's be honest, things were much more better in terms of opportunities, in terms of if you work or if you look for a job, you'll certainly get one, a good paying job. And they raised us up with that same mindset that, oh, go to school, get a job, and then they expect you to follow the same footsteps and make it as good as they did, which is no longer realistic. Because times have changed. You cannot follow the same. If you follow that same pattern, bro, you are gone. So I think that has to do it indirect, but directly, I don't think the pressure is much, unless maybe for our young ladies, because sometimes I've heard some comments of, oh, a young girl is maybe going out to work that is not really paying as much, or going out to even see someone, and the parents will be like, carry better come. Or I don't think, if your child is not, or you tell her that, oh, can't you see that this person is having this and having that, what about you? Comments like that would affect the child directly.
On something like that, there's a serious trend, I think. Serious trend when it comes to parents putting pressure on their children. But most of the time, it's funny because some of these parents themselves, they have actually, I don't want to say they've lived a failed life themselves, but they've actually lived a kind of life that they themselves are not really proud of. And instead of owning to the fact that they did not really do well for themselves, they will find a way of portraying it on their child in a way that now they begin to tell their child that, okay, you should be doing, like for ladies especially. Some mothers actually see marriage as a success. So when you have not got married at a certain age, it now seems as if this child is actually a failure. All right. So they begin to pressure the child, go and give us somebody to get married. That's why in some cases where the person that they might be dating might not actually even really love them at the end of the day. Might be someone that is, maybe domestic violence against their child. And because of the fact that, the notion that probably the person has money, the person is successful, he will actually move them from poverty. They will tell their child to, stay there or stay for that marriage. When it was my turn, me say they endure, and all those kind of things instead of addressing. And that's why some parents don't actually show genuine love to their children. And in the quest of some of these people their children trying to find this love outside, now begin to enter wrong hands or begin to do the wrong thing. So that is actually a big problem.
Okay, so I think there's something about still figuring out your life, especially for a young person. At the age of maybe 27, 28, 29, is it wrong to still be trying to figure out your life? Because I think there was a situation where a father was telling his son that you should be married by now, I think by 27, because he said at 26 I got married and I was already doing well, so you should be married by now. So those kind of expectations, that is from the father, not even the larger society. So how do you think that affects a person? Because he gave us a breakdown of data of how Nigerians fall at the top of depression lists. So how has parents, actually maybe based on personal experience, how has that affected?
Okay, so in figuring it out, I think parents should be more supportive. But Nigeria generally is performing poorly economically, and it affects the youth most especially, because now the parents are looking up to the youths more like an investment. Like, I'll spend so much money taking you to school, so I expect you at this point in time to be bringing something back. And to me, I don't see it that way. It's not supposed to be that way. So that part alone is a lot of pressure. And for someone that is still figuring it out at maybe 28, 29, it's more like in your mind too, not just their mind. You are seeing more of a countdown to 30. Oh, big 30. What have I done with my full 30 years? And the parents at that point should only try to be supportive. That's the best thing you can do for your kid that's still in that age. You can't compare what shouldn't be compared. Everybody figures it out at their own time, and when their time reach, it will happen. So figuring it out at 29, 28 still works perfectly, but just have direction. If you have direction and you're working towards that, then you are good to go.
Okay. So have you actually felt like you have been falling behind in life based on the expectations that society places on youth, on a young person? Okay, at this age you should have achieved this. At this age you should have maybe had your house, had a car, or gotten married. Have you been feeling such kind of pressure?
Personally, I would say if there's anybody that's not feeling that pressure, the person is not in Nigeria, honestly. But I feel the most important thing there is how you take this pressure, how you receive it. So, I've sometimes you leave your house, and when you go outside, you see things, you see people that maybe at some point, at least maybe you saw them grow up, you saw everything about them, and you see that these people are doing better than you are, and you begin to feel bad. So I think it's a normal trend, especially in Nigeria, where anything can happen at any point in time, and somebody that you're seeing down today can actually rise. So, but I feel the most important thing is how you receive these things and how you understand life. If you understand life look at it from a certain perspective, you understand that the race is not usually for the fastest, and sometimes it's for the smartest. So when you see life from that angle and you understand some principles of life that this life at the end of the day, we came with nothing, we always live with nothing. It does not mean that you should be lazy, but then you should also understand that no matter what you are doing, make sure what you are doing is the right thing. Because no matter how those pressures are, just make sure that it leads you and it channels you, gives you, as you said, direction. Very important. It directs you to a point where you focus more on the right things. You put your strength into doing something that is good for yourself. So I feel it's a normal thing for most youths in Nigeria to feel that pressure. I don't think there's any family where that pressure is not felt. Even if it's not coming from internal, it will definitely be coming from the external.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you look at the country, you see that most people are not trying to be innovative. People are just trying to look for a means to make money. So there's no time to express your passion. Maybe you are passionate about fashion and just want to create something different, create something new. Most people, because of the pressure, I think many people are left just focusing on how to make this money rather than passionate about something to do with their lives. So how do you think this particular pressure based on how to make money has affected people's passion?
I think the pressure is coming more from the economic background of the country, because in a country where the system is working right, you realize that you don't even need to try as hard to get money, so you have time for your creative side. But by the time you are living on survival mode, all the like from 16 years you're already living on survival mode, that innovation that is in there, that dream go dry. So I just living on survival. That's what has even led to people trying to seek make shortcuts to get to get to their means. And I'll blame the financial state of the country for that, because it's not a personal problem. It's something that has affected more than 70%. Even like now you cannot say, oh, you want to maybe go and you have a dream to be what was all those hobbies that they have outside. Let's say go kayaking. Your hobby is kayaking, so every Saturday you need to go. You go and drown, there's no first aid, no lifeguard is coming to get you, and you're on survival mode already. Where are you seeing this dream from? So mostly it has to do with a general problem. If the system was working, trust me, we have lots of creatives, and even more so people that are still trying now, as it's still as bad as it is. There are still people that are trying as hard. So I believe Nigeria is a creative space, but the system is just weighing down on that aspect.
So many
I
limitations.
think this just brings back some memories of. I think back then when I was still in university, I had this plan. Okay, when I'm done, I'm going to go for service. Then immediately after my service, I'll go to a music school to just maybe learn one or two things more about music and different musical instruments.
Yeah.
But then along the line, I realized that okay, there was hunger.
Hunger kicked in.
So that's another mood that I just mentioned. Actually, it just kicked in. So the only thing left in my head was just to this passion. Maybe later on when I've made money. So, but now I'm not focused on how to make money before hunger will kill. Because the person way they are alive. Nine again passion. So after you don't chop, you can't take away your passion. So actually, I just realized that truly, this the economic effect of the country actually plays a lot of role in dying down creatives and creativity. But then this still brings me back to the fact that does making money is it the proof of success? Is it like ultimate proof of success? Like making money, especially for a young person now. I made ₦1 billion before 30, for example. Does that actually just makes me automatically successful?
For just like I said in the beginning, I don't see success as material things or material gains. I don't see it as that. I see it more as the impact you have, the legacy you leave, the impact you have on people's lives. That's what I see success as. Because at the end of the day, there are so many rich people that are not happy with their lives. Though we have so many poor people that are also not happy, and that's the reality of things. But then, so that what it shows is that when you have a lot, it does not mean you are happy, and when you don't even have, it does not still mean you are happy. It's all about that balance. There has to be that balance, and in chasing the material aspect, because it's true, we need finances, we need all those things to actually keep going in this life. Honestly, you need it, but then you should not lose sight of other things that make you happy, and that's what we must discover. So we're not just going to, because sometimes, and some people are lucky in the sense that what they are doing that makes money for them is actually what they now find fulfillment in. Those are the ones that are not, they are living at the top of the world, because you go to work, you're happy, you come back home, you're happy, everything you do, you are happy, because you are finding fulfillment on a steady basis with the things around you. So for me personally, I don't think money, no matter the amount of money, is a proof of success. It just shows your financial strength. That's how I see it.
Valentine, you're the should I say motion?
Money, motion.
The emotion, that one is very important. So which will you choose, to be broke at 29 or happy despite being rich, or sad despite being rich at 29?
I cannot be sad. I'm sorry, but I cannot, because whatever gives me that fulfillment, like, to me, the way I see it, money is a representation of your discipline and your calculations, in the sense that if what makes you feel fulfilled now, let's say for example, is seeing your kids happy, if you can, just as you said, if you can find that balance, money gives you that power to be able to make certain decisions that will make life easier. So if you can still be calculative and disciplined enough to have the money while still doing those things that make you happy, life will be easier. So you will be more at ease to be happy and be fulfilled. So money doesn't directly represent your success, but in a way it is kind of a proof of how far, or not how far, but how much you have put yourself together. Let's put it like that. It's not like let's say you go and write jump now and your score is 300, is not the same thing. That is your result, but money is not just your result. Money is more of a way to show that, okay, yes, you are somehow in line. Well, in the same way, fulfillment doesn't come from money alone, because there are other things that will make you feel fulfilled, and it's just about striking that balance, not working too hard and getting all the money that you might not even end up being able to spend. But being comfortable enough that you make life easier so that you can enjoy it better. That's
so
it.
that means you think you cannot have money and be sad.
No.
Wait, but I think there are people that have money and yet I think they feel depressed.
They should give it to me and I'll solve their problems. Whatever the problem is, I'll solve it. They should bring it over.
Okay, so Cosmos, do you think there are unhealthy things that some people do because of the pressure to make it? Like, I want to make it before 30, 30 is drunk, so I want to make it. Do you think there are some unhealthy decisions and things that people do?
Yes. Before backstage, when we were discussing, we were actually discussing about this concept of Mbamba months that we have in Nigeria. We have this
December pressure.
November, December period where some things are actually always on the increase. When it comes to crime, maybe robbery, 419, whatever case, fraud, everything is always on the increase within this time. So it shows that there's a pressure to show workings, as they call it, to show workings. So there's a pressure to actually show workings, for you to show that yes. So for some people, they come to Abuja, they hustle January till December. And then they move back home and to go and show that, yes, I've arrived, I've done one or two things. So, yes, if people actually do stuff, they do a lot of things to actually make money. And some of these things, unfortunately, are not good. So, I mean, there are times where one of the bigger problems is actually, just as I was mentioning, the economy. I was at an event not too long ago where one of the presidential candidates came to, and he actually made mention of the fact that if we can solve our economic problems, a lot of our problems in this country will be solved. Yeah, that's the truth. A lot. And the problem we're having in this country is that a lot of wrong things are actually now being seen as the right things, as normal things, and that's where we are having serious issue. So you can you can find it difficult to meet someone out there now that is into, let's say for instance, into fraud, for instance, and you go and try and talk to them. They when you tell them these things, they might see you as someone that is unreasonable. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, now, if you are telling me to pull out from this thing, what other option are you giving me? Okay, so when you now look at it, you might begin to now understand why they go into some of these things that they go into. But then at the end of the day, what is wrong is what is wrong, and what is right is what is right. So yeah, for me, I know to a very large extent, we have lots and lots of youth out there that make actually wrong decisions. And Nigeria is a country that does not give you room to make mistakes. It actually punishes you for your mistakes. Serious. So, in some other climes now, you have your parents behind you. They will tell you, okay, try sports, go into football, go and play. You play for some time. Oh no, I can't. You find out, you move on to something else. And you find out that when you move on, before you test here, you might find that you might now become successful at something. But in Nigeria, when you have tested out football, before you know, you're hitting a certain age where everything will now be on your head. So, because reality will set on you. At the end of the day, that's your parent that might be supporting you now. Be say, it's like you leave this thing you are doing first to go and look for money first that will use and eat food in this house. So those are some of the issues actually. That's some of the issues.
Okay. He said something about this time is running out. So do you think Nigerians are expected to become providers too early? Say young Nigerians.
Well, too early is not the way I see it, because the normal time frame for you to start up life and be able to provide for yourself and for your own family let's say in outside or other like other countries I've been to, if you are 26, you are already doing something that is bringing money, even if it's not so much money. At least it's something that you can comfortably say, oh, I can pay my rent myself, I can get married, I can get a car. Other places now you have car pay, you can make car payment, they will call credits, so you can get all this and it will make life easier. But this is not being implemented in this country, and by the time you see it, you are being forced to get everything out of, should I say, nothing, because there's really no backing. Like, oh, maybe you are good at, just as you said, you were into music, you wanted to go into instrumental, but let's say, for example, as a pianist, you cannot say that is a sustainable means of living. You cannot use that and say, oh, I'm a pianist, come and pay me. Oh, how much? Who go pay you? From where to? So yes, it's going to be difficult, and by the time you are having, this struggle to make ends meet, time is already going by. So it's not necessarily bad, but the country is just greatly affecting that aspect.
Okay. So this, you mentioned that success is not literally about money.
Yeah.
So I actually agree with that, because I think to be seen as a successful person, you need to actually succeed at different fronts of life. To me, so like I feel that if you are successful financially without being successful at the family end, maybe you have a family that is unstable because of maybe you are unable to manage the family, or you are not successful at the business end, or with your passion, maybe you don't have something that you just love doing, even if it doesn't bring you money. I think that's different aspect of success to me. So, but then when it's boils down to marriage, so do you think the pressure to succeed before 30 affects dating and marriage?
Yeah, to a large extent it does. To a large extent it does, especially because of the fact that one particular gender is actually putting lots of expectation on another gender.
Yeah, it should be, which gender is
No, I know they fear them now. I go call them now. so the ladies actually they put pressure on guys for success when it comes to the fact that when a guy wants to ask a girl out now, the girl will be telling him, okay, I want someone that actually has this, has that, has this. And the girl for herself, she doesn't have this type of things. Her own parent might not even be giving her this type of things. So where are these demands actually coming from? All right. So I feel to a certain large extent that ladies actually dwell more on the success of guys. That's why I was saying it's like this success of a thing is now becoming like a gender-based kind of thing.
No, I don't think the pressure is mostly from the ladies as such, because if it's the ladies, then how come we have more women that are complaining, oh, we're not married though, where are the men, they should come and pick us.
That's why I feel it's more reason.
Is social media, because if you check it, people are getting married every Saturday. Whether you have car, whether you have house or not, you will get married. You will see someone there.
But I like the fact that they have to be like, because sometimes what I've noticed is the older a lady gets, the more desperate she becomes.
Okay, expiration date.
And in desperation.
Exactly. This expiration date. Yes. So you are saying it's an expiration date for ladies?
No, I did not say expiration. I said desperation.
No, I
said desperation. So the more desperate she becomes, the more she gets older, the more desperate she becomes. And there are some things that she will just begin to, she will not change. She just only bends them for a certain period. And when she gets married, those things are already in their head. You already know that, okay, this is still what they are hoping to get in marriage.
I feel...
Okay, even as you are saying that some people actually, people are getting married every Saturday. Yeah. Do you know the amount of divorce that actually takes place almost every week? Do you know the amount of people that actually go for divorce? Some of them, what is the problem? My husband cannot provide for me. My husband cannot do this thing that he's supposed to do. My husband abandoned the children. My husband do this and do this and do that.
No, this is mostly caused by unrealistic
expectations.
Women are real to themselves in the sense that a woman that got into marriage for material things knows that she's inside that marriage for material things. And if there was no material things from the beginning, where are you expecting it from in the middle? I be in the end. So women that go into it for material things and they end up divorcing is those ones that maybe the man had it going well at the beginning, and then he would have it, well in the beginning, and towards the middle or the end, they realize that that this rose has some thorns and they want a divorce. So
this
that is when they are keeping it real.
You just mentioned this. It reminded me of this gold digger thing that was trending one time. So most women are seen as gold diggers when they want to be with a man that is well to do financially. But then there are still men that go after women that are well to do. So what's your take on this? Because there are actually men that just look for, like, they prey on well to do women, especially those that have been advanced in age. So okay, this man is looking for love. They'll give love. So the woman will give them money. Because I think that is still part of the society till today.
Okay, so yes, it goes both ways and for different reasons. Like, yes, women are the gold diggers. Men are learning work when it comes to gold digging. We are miners because before a lady would, entrust you with some amount of finances, you must have done some things. But ladies, it goes both ways though. But the reason why women do it and the reason why men do it is still the same, but they go about it a bit differently, in the sense that you have a younger lady now. Maybe she can even go to a younger guy that she's not attracted to just for the gold. But if there's no gold, there's no digging. So it just goes both ways for the same reasons.
Okay. So now when it comes to these pressures that people get to experience, especially when it comes to succeeding at various fronts in life, what do you think is something that, or what is something that you wish you knew in your early 20s that would have helped you to overcome such pressures?
I even feel it's not even in the early 20s, maybe even in my teens. So I feel it will have been learning a futuristic skill. Yeah, when I mean futuristic, not even the trending skill, because at every point in time, there are actually skills that are trending. Why there are some that are outdated, why some are futuristic. We are talking of this AI. AI did not just start up now. It's been there for a very long time, but then it's just trending now. So which means even in future, there are other kind of skills that will actually be trending in future. So the major thing would be to be able to learn skills that will serve purposes for years to come, and sometimes skills that people have not really had their attention are not yet on them. So I feel I would have loved to have learned something that would really have served me a lot now and even for the future.
Okay. You said something about money being the main form of success. So you are trying to say
which I disagree with.
which you disagree with. So we are trying to say
Okay.
But you're trying to say that someone cannot be successful without doing well today.
What are you successful in? Is it in farming or being?
Somebody is happy. Somebody is happy.
You're happy.
Yes, sir. Is that not?
You're successfully happy. Like you're just happy.
Yes, you can derive joy. You can derive joy in making other people smile.
Okay, what is one thing that makes you smile that doesn't require money?
Okay, for example, these upcoming musicians that don't do it for passion, they don't have money yet.
Hunger will take that joy. You are singing without eating.
They just feel like making people happy with their voice.
Passion.
Yes.
goes together with money and success. You cannot take money out of it and just put happiness. It's better that you secure the money,
But money,
then you follow your passion.
but money even being there does not even really give you happiness.
Money
that's one
being
thing.
there, that is where
Does not necessarily
people
give you
get it
happiness.
wrong. Because poor people are the saddest people.
No, I disagree.
Poor people,
I disagree.
they are the saddest.
I
You know why?
I disagree.
If you check it, but the amount of rich people that are unhappy is very few. I don't even know any. If I had known any, I would,
Is this based on statistics now?
based on my real life experiences.
Okay.
I don't know any wealthy person or any at least comfortable person that the only problem you hear someone that has money having is like, maybe this game that I ordered, they have delayed the launch date to the 30th. Which to me, a poor man cannot have that type of sadness. That is luxury. So you cannot be poor and happy, because that source of your happiness requires some amount of financial input.
Okay, what
for you
of
to get
what
there.
of peace of mind? Is peace of mind not
Peace of
not
mind.
something that cannot be bought with money?
It cannot. If let's say you have gained money and you are looking for something else that money cannot buy, then you will not have peace of mind. But by the time you have that thing that money cannot buy and there's no money, you might not still have peace of mind. Because let's say you like children, you wanted, once I grow now 5 kids I want born. All right, God has blessed you with 10 now. Are you happy? How many you have eaten? So, money goes hand in hand with happiness. You cannot take out. Some people say, it's better for me to cry in a Lamborghini than for me to be happy in the ghetto. There are clauses to that, but I'd rather do the same. That Lamborghini is very comfortable.
But one of the person now that said if you prefer to be crying Lamborghini now, she's out of her husband's house.
She wants to cry. She just wants to
She has
cry.
been crying ever since. Ever since she went to that Lamborghini, she has been crying.
Did she have the Lamborghini?
No.
I'm not sure she did, because if she did, she wouldn't be crying.
But that was why she went there in the first place.
And she did not get it, so all she got was tears. Because the Lamborghini that she ended up, maybe she went about it the wrong way. If you're expecting the Lamborghini to come from someone's hard-earned labor, it will end in tears and you'll be in the ghetto crying. So maybe she went about it the wrong way. But if you maybe worked hard and did your things, and then you got the Lamborghini, and then your game they extended the launch date of your game, I'll cry in the I'll on my AC and cry. But that is a comfortable cry.
Tears will not come out too.
That is sobbing.
So what's one expectation society places on people, like, to achieve before 30, that you think it's not right?
I feel it's marriage. I feel strongly that it's marriage. And why I say it's marriage is because we are living in a time where people are more informed now, and people understand how mindsets work better. Unlike in the olden days, where it happens to be that if a man comes to a house and comes with his family and say they found a flower in his house and this and that, it's possible that the girl, seeing him and that first point, she would accept and go with him. But now if you try it out of 20 ladies, I don't maybe at the end of the day, maybe only one we agree to go with you. And maybe that one said when you reach the house, you might not even like the person. So I feel to
not be a flower.
So I feel to a certain extent that it's marriage is something that they put pressure on people to actually, because that's why we're having lots of failed marriages. People are not mentally matured enough, and before you know, they are talking about marriage. They want to settle down. But can you actually handle the pressure that comes with marriage? And sometimes these things are not really financial. I mean, I've seen a state where some situations where a mother will be sitting down, her child will be crying, and she'll be less concerned about it, because at that point in time, there's these hormones in women. So there are some that the hormones are actually high, and they can just sit down, and their child will just be there crying, and they will not even be shaked to do anything. These are some of the mental impacts that marriage actually has on people. So how well are you prepared for all these impacts? I mean, there are places where at age 15, people are already married. Places where, of reason, I think I saw one on social media.
Age 15.
Yes.
It's happening in some
parts
states.
Yes, that's some stuff. It's actually happening. And you now begin to ask yourself, what does this child know about marriage? How can she or he actually take in all this pressure that comes with marriage? I mean, and you're also going to now be taking care of someone else. That's even the extent that it is. So how well are you prepared enough for marriage? So most of the time, before 30, I feel so many people are under pressure to settle down, and it's not really good.
Okay. So if you could remove one expectation placed on people before they turn 30, what will it be?
Expectation. I think I'll mention two. I'll start with marriage. Just as we were discussing earlier. Marriage is not a time, should I say, a time-based thing. That is aside from the gender that has an expiration. But marriage is not a timely-based thing, especially for a man. A man can marry whenever he has that stability, that that's power to handle the things that comes with it when it comes to the financial aspect, the mental aspect. You need to still have time for your kids as much as you are still providing. You cannot just be providing and then you don't have time.
No.
And then for the ladies, it will be mostly the marriage, because no, it's not still the marriage, because the pressure, the ladies will still feel it. It will mostly to succeed, because the man now handles the pressure of succeeding rather than age factor. But the ladies now, they would have to deal more on building themselves to be someone who can handle a home, because handling a home is not something that is being taught. You have to be compassionate, you have to be understanding, and then you have to get all these qualities that would keep the house together. So this is another aspect that some people shy away from talking about. But if we are being real, a lady is the one that keeps the home together. You cannot mention a lady,
but not necessarily though.
Not necessarily, but she's how the man is the head, she's the neck. And I'm not saying the head is more important than it, because without the neck, the head is nothing. The head is useless. Very, very useless. But that neck now connects everything. It transmits the message from the body to the brain.
I feel it's subjective to different homes, because some homes the men are much more valuable than the wives.
No,
more valuable.
What the role that the woman plays in a house, even biblically, is the role of bringing the home together.
Yeah, but the man saddled with the responsibility itself is the leader, and as a leader, one of the first important thing of a leader is the service. Yes, it's the service aspect where you need to serve, and in service, you show example by serving. So when you are a man and you show all these examples, it's just for the woman to follow, and that's it. That's how I see it, though.
So do you truly believe
that?
But do you truly believe that that life actually begins at 30, or people just say this to console themselves for not achieving certain things at that age?
Life does not begin at 30. Life begins from the moment you are 1 year old. The moment you are born. Because People just set a kind of a deadline at 30. They be like, oh, at 30 I must have done this, especially when they begin to compare themselves to other people that have probably achieved similar success at 30. So it brings that pressure all the more. So life actually doesn't begin at 30. It just that people feel that pressure that, oh, after 30, oh, my world is gonna crash if I don't achieve this. So honestly, it doesn't really matter that much, because the pressure, regardless, there's 31, there's 32. I have had, and I know someone who has tried committing suicide twice.
Wow.
I'm sorry to mention it, before she even got to 25.
Wow.
And it's mostly based on not just the pressure to succeed, but the pressure to escape from the current reality that is so unfavorable. The pressure that, oh, I have to leave the house, I'm so tied down that if this goes on for another year, I'm not sure I can take it anymore. And you are just 25. So how do you explain life to that person that, don't worry, it's going to continue even after 30?
So if your life doesn't go according to your timeline, does it mean you have failed, or it's just your own story?
Well,
A failed story.
well, I feel truly everybody has their own journey. Everyone has their own journey, and there's no manual to life. Everybody just has their own timeline. If things don't happen in the way I actually planned them, it does not necessarily mean that I failed. It simply means, okay, it still needs more time. And then again, there's a factor whereby I might have been looking at something wrongly. I'm out from a wrong perspective, or I'm expecting a result that I should not even be expecting. So these are the things that we have to understand about life. That it's not the amount of it's not the fact that, okay, because we have positioned things to go in a certain direction, that life will now give us the result as we desire it. It's not necessarily always going to be like that. Life has its ups and downs. So if you understand all these things for fact, if you understand that life is different for everybody, then I feel we'll begin to accept some things that we call, in quote, failure. We'll begin to accept them as experiences. All right. And it will help us and to drive us to do things maybe in a different way to also achieve something else, or achieve the same result that we are looking to achieve.
So you think there's not going to be any pressure when, for example, you say, okay, Valentine, see this your friend, oh, he has finished school, he has a good job now, he's even getting married very soon, and you are here, and you are age mate, so he's just 29, and you soon turn 30. How does that make you feel?
That in itself is pressure, but pressure in the sense that is an external pressure. It depends on how you digest it and process it internally. Because just as we said, life or success is a personal journey. School might not be that person's notion of success. So while you are telling him all these things, the person might just be just there and say, I beg, talk sharp, may I go back, continue waiting at the two. So it depends on how you digest these things and what you take as success in your own way. Because you have your own journey. All of us cannot be a medical doctor. Or how to say, see your sister, she's a lawyer, or see that family, they have a lawyer, they have a doctor. We sent you to school, and up to now, you are dropping out or something. So success and that type of pressure cannot just make you feel pressured internally. Your own success defines how you interpret that pressure.
Okay. So what's a message you can give to someone that is feeling left behind in life, based on maybe his peers or her peers, all doing maybe good financially and otherwise?
Well, the message I will give is to keep grinding, keep doing what is right. One day it will always pay off. And one of the things again is to learn from experiences, learn from people. It's very important that we learn instead of us being experiences ourselves. It's easier to actually learn from
You
people.
don't need to go through it
Exactly,
to learn.
exactly. So when you have, and it's good to also have mentors. You have people that you are looking up to, in the sense that anything you are doing in life, you must have somebody that have already done it before you and who has become successful. Now, I'm not saying it will happen to be that person's own route will actually be your own route, but at least you have heads up about the things to expect in that particular line. So if you are feeling in any way maybe depressed, or maybe others are ahead of you, you should also understand that this life has different approaches, and you should know that even as you are at this point in time, there are people that are doing worse than you are doing. All right, so take that as a consolation that you are not doing that bad, and you can also do better. Those ones that are ahead of you or that are more successful than you, it simply means you can actually also still be more successful. And you should also know that those people that are below you, it means that your own life could have been worse like their own. So, but then you should understand.
I don't think that comparison should influence you. Thinking that, there are people doing better than me, and there are people that I'm doing better than, because if you look into these things, we said it's a personal journey.
Of course.
So at every point in time, no matter what stage you are in, there's someone doing better than you.
Yes.
And there's someone you are doing better than.
Of course.
So if you rely on, I'm doing better than a lot of people, my brother, I go remain there.
It's a case of balance. You have to balance.
So you have to still
create that balance.
Push yourself personally to achieve that goal that only you can see in your mind. Because I believe every young guy, when you lie down and when you go to bed, that brief moment, there is a life that you have pictured in your head. And if that is my driving force anyway, there's this. It doesn't boil down to money, although money is a very strong aspect, but there's a certain way you picture your future self to be. I don't care if someone is there or I'm doing better than someone. That pressure should come from me wanting to achieve that.
Yeah. I think that one also works.
Yes. Thank you very much for your opinions. And we are wrapping this particular episode of the pressures to succeed before 30, and you have heard our points, and the message finally goes that this life is not a competition. You are on your own lane. So someone's timeline is not your timeline. But just keep walking and keep moving, and the sky will be your starting point.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Mind Over Mics. See you on the next one, and remember to like,
subscribe,
and share.
Ah.